The Center for Contemporary China-Africa Research in Nigeria says the Second Post-FOCAC Abuja Forum is aimed at advancing China-Africa modernization. Scheduled for June 26, 2025, at the China Cultural Center in Abuja, the forum themed Jointly Advancing China-Africa Modernization and Achieving the 10 Partnership Initiative in an all-weather China-Africa community with a shared future, aims to chart a path for deeper collaboration between China and Africa. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday, the director of the center, Professor Sheriff Ghali Ibrahim, outlined the objectives and key details of the event aimed at strengthening China-Africa relations.
The International Conference West Africa, the Post-FOCAC Second Abuja Forum, is being organized by the Center for Contemporary China-Africa Research in Nigeria. And it is also to conform with the China-Africa Cooperation Principles, which envisages the organization of such conferences in China as well as in Africa. And in Africa, one of such conferences was actually held in Nairobi, Kenya recently. And the legal aspect of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation is to be held in July also in China. And we see such, intellectual engagement coming to West Africa, Southern Africa, Central Africa, and Northern Africa. And the major objective is to actually bring together intellectuals, policymakers, to provide a kind of, opinion poll, to provide recommendations and suggestions on how all the objectives, all the principles, all the proposed action plan, especially the 10 Partnership Action Plan of the 2024 Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Beijing Summit actually conceived. How to achieve all these particular partnership initiative. So China and African countries need to actually bring together such policy makers, think tanks, academics, in order to brainstorm on this particular area and advise the government of Africa as well as the government of China on how to come together to actually put hands on deck on how to achieve China-Africa modernization and how to achieve this particular 10 partnership initiative.
The event will feature 10 topics, each presented by experts from the West Africa sub-region. These include discussions on China-Africa policy implementation, interparliamentary cooperation, and eco-friendly modernization underpinned by peace and security.
We have scholars from across West Africa as well as other countries in Africa, such as Morocco, such as Senegal, such as Mali, such as Sierra Leone, such as Liberia, such as Mali, such as Senegal, such as Benin Republic and Niger, other countries like Ghana, looking at Egypt, South Africa, as well as Tanzania. People are actually participating in this particular conference. And some topical issues to be discussed, China-Africa policy inertia in the implementation of the 10 Partnership Action Plan, increasing China-Africa experience sharing on national governance, China-Africa interparliamentary experience sharing, how our lawmakers in Africa and China can actually share experience, China-Africa intergovernmental experience sharing in improving poverty reduction, how the government of Africa and China could come together to actually fight poverty, sharing experience to this particular effect. China-Africa joint formulation of socio-economic development plans and governing capacity building, China-Africa development philosophy sharing and exchange of modernization experience, promoting the development of China-Africa Joint Arbitration Center in order to safeguard the Belt and Road Initiative, China-Africa experience sharing in an eco-friendly modernization. These are some of the areas: modernization, China-Africa modernization, as well as strategies on achieving the 10 partnership action plans. These are some of the topical areas and issues that intellectuals and think tanks policymakers will actually come and leverage action as well as brainstorm on how to achieve this particular initiative for China-Africa's all-weather community for a shared future.
The Second Post-FOCAC Abuja Forum is poised to be a transformative moment for China-Africa relations, fostering collaboration and paving the way for sustainable progress.